Hello, this is Riley Porter with Seattle Sumo. You're listening to a commentary track for Day 10 of the 1960 Haru Basho. That's Showa 35 March. Coverage for this tournament can be found on the Japan Sumo Association's official YouTube channel. There is a link to that in the description for this video. You'll play this in a separate tab, and I'll give instructions for a countdown. I'll count backwards from 3, 3, 2, 1. As I hit the N in 1, you're going to click play. Membership right now for the Japan Sumo Association's official YouTube channel is $9 a month, and that membership is required for viewing of this basho. Alright, that's all the disclaimers. Without further ado, we'll count down and begin this video. So again, this is 1960, Day 10. We'll count down. 3, 2, 1. Futabayama, Taiho, Chianofuji, Archive. Now, first up, Kuninobori, Takasago veteran, just dropped to Juryo. Uragawa, at the bottom of Maegashira. Kuninobori slips to the side, but Uragawa closes the distance, slips his arm inside. A Kubinage attempt from Kuninobori, but Uragawa slips out from underneath and picks up his 4th win. So he's hanging on. Atagoyama 5-4 against Wakano Kuni 4-5. This is their first time meeting, so we'll see how their bout goes. Thrusting action from Atagoyama, hitting the chest. Wakano Kuni sending the same right back to the jaw. Now trying for an under-shoulder swing down, no good. Atagoyama keeps up the thrusting, the parrying. Wakano Kuni tries a pull down, not such a good move, but he slips behind Atagoyama. Well, this is not a position you can really recover from, unless you're of a supremely powerful stature, but that is not Atagoyama. And so what will he do? He's trying to wrestle the hands off him here, but no good. Okuridashi, rear push out. Wakano Kuni comes to 5-5 and emerges victorious from his first meeting with Atagoyama. Now, Fukurayama from Deiwano Umi. And Yoshinomine from Takashima on 2-7. So he's fighting off Makekoshi today. Fukurayama jumps the gun. I'll try this again. And it looks like maybe Yoshinomine is a little more eager this time. Well, sometimes, it's not a matter of nerves, maybe so much as just differences in personality or something like that. In any event, Yoshinomine's got an inside right here. He settled deep inside, keeping his belt far back. Fukurayama's the bigger Dikishi. He's performed better this basho, but Yoshinomine is here to win. A scoop attempt from Fukurayama. He's got that inside right, not on the belt, but cupped under the shoulder blade of Yoshinomine. Prime position to pull that scoop throw, and given that Yoshinomine is one of the smallest Dikishi in this division, it's not a bad idea. Fukurayama's really leaning on him, pushes in, brings him to the edge, but can't finish him. Yoshinomine secures that outside left. Now Fukurayama tries that scoop again. He had a grip briefly, but ditched it, I think, in favor of the scoop throw, because I think he feels that at this point it could really go. Now they're taking a break so that Gyoji can retie Fukurayama's belt. It can take the Gyoji a little while, sometimes a little effort, because usually you want someone of Dikishi's strength to be tying the belt. In any event, Fukurayama barrels in, can't quite finish Yoshinomine with that scoop, but it seems that he's very much committed to it at this point. He's got a shallow grip to go with. Drives in, but unfortunately at the last moment, as Yoshinomine seemed to be hurling out, Fukurayama slipped forward, touchdown with his hand, and Yoshinomine got the win. No Monoi. Pretty clear result. Wakamisugi against Kiyonomori. Hyonomori on 7-2 is one of the distant kind of runner-ups. Now deep inside is Wakamisugi with that left and picking up, hoisting out Hyonomori. So Wakamisugi, the obviously bigger, stronger of the two, emerges victorious. They come even now, 7-3, coming out of day 10. Wakamisugi improves his head-to-head with Hyonomori to 4-1. So it looks like he's got his number. They're, outside of the weight, they're relatively similarly built. Might be part of the problem for Hyonomori. In any event, Tokitsuyama 7-2 against Tamehibiki 6-3. Tokitsuyama's been looking very strong this basho, showing his experience in addition to his well-built frame. Though injury has taken its toll, he seems to be in good shape this basho, all things considered. So comes in low, driving, pushing is Tokitsuyama, but not really generating a lot of forward motion. Tamehibiki was kind of backpedaling and slapping down, but now Tokitsuyama's got an inside left, outside right. Both of them are Hidari Yotsu, and a little pinch with the leg on the outside. Tokitsuyama folding Tamehibiki under him and picking up his 8th win. So that's Kachikoshi for Tokitsuyama. Guaranteed to rise up and improve ranks. So the Tatsunami veteran composing himself well. Got a nice win there. Now, Matsunobori, 4-5. Sort of treading water here against Kane no Hana, 5-4. Matsunobori's won their 2 encounters to date, so odds favor him in this matchup. He should be rushing out for a charge, but doesn't really move very quickly off the tachi. Kane no Hana jumps to the side, tries to slap down. Now he's doing some kind of pulling motion, gets to thrusting. He seems eager to pull Matsunobori forward rather than force him out, but Matsunobori's locked himself up on the arm here. And looks like he's secured a shallow right, but now Kane no Hana is working from a better angle. Unfortunately, for Matsunobori, that angle prevailed. So they came to the edge, and Kane no Hana a little faster on his feet, slipped around to the side and tripped Matsunobori. Little rear leg trip there. So Kane no Hana moves to 6-4 and Matsunobori 4-6, inching closer to a Makekoshi. Kane no Hana, the first character, the Kane, comes from his family name of Kanai. So one of many wrestlers that merges part of their family name with characters typical of their stable. Tsune Nishiki, Kane no Hana's stablemate, against Waka Maeda. Tsune Nishiki at a highest, I think his highest rank to date here, struggling with a 3-6. They go chest to chest, some thrusting, keeping it open. Waka Maeda's at a good angle. He drives in, he closes the distance, he's shoving up on him, but he gets slipped, turns around, gets back to shoving, tries a little pull, back to thrusting. On the jaw, chest, jaw. Tsune Nishiki is, well, really darting around trying to stay alive, but not able to move Waka Maeda much. Now he's keeping him at bay. Waka Maeda breaks the hand away. Moves in, desperate scoop a throw attempt, a bit of a kubinage, not a scoop throw rather, but a kubinage, a neck throw from Tsune Nishiki. But Waka Maeda just flattened him, so Waka Maeda, 6-4. Tsune Nishiki, 3-7. One more, it's Makekoshi. Waka Maeda looked very strong, really imposing in that bout. So, only 2 more wins needed for Kachikoshi. Good for the Takasago man here. Aono Sato, 5-4 against Shinobuyama, 6-3. Shinobuyama's been looking pretty deadly this basho. More experience of the two, certainly, by a good margin. It comes in low. Aono Sato's moving him back. He's got that outside right. He's wrenching up Shinobuyama. He's on the edge, Shinobuyama, but he braces himself. He stays low. He tries for a kubinage, but he gets slipped. Aono Sato ducking underneath at the last moment and sending Shinobuyama out on his hands. So They're even coming up to today, 6-4. But what is this? A mono-e. So the Shimpan are going to discuss the bout. As usual, all I could really imagine is an inadvertent step out earlier in the bout, or perhaps at the finish, but... And that seems to be what they're checking for. They're checking the layer of sand, the circle just outside the Tawara. Alright, they're back in. They're done. And the decision's been reversed. It goes to Aono Sato. Well, no, actually, it was already Aono Sato's. It was his win. So Gunbai Dori goes the way of the Gyoji's decision initially. So Aono Sato moves to 6-4, even with Shinobu Yama. Looking good. Good aggressive tachiai. Really got the better of the veteran there. Naruto Umi, 4-5 against Kaizan, 3-6. Kaizan has the edge in their head-to-head, 7-4. Kaizan comes in, gets the outside left, is pushing up on the chest of Naruto Umi, and wins what turned out to be a fairly one-sided bout. Followed the odds there pretty well. So Kaizan and Naruto Umi are both 4-6 coming out of day 10, and Kaizan improves his head-to-head with Naruto Umi to 8-4. So he's got the lighter man's number. Ogi no Hana, 5-4 against Hani Nishiki, 4-5. Ogi no Hana has the edge in their rivalry, 4-1, so odds favor him in this matchup. Gets a shallow grip, then switches to high up on under the armpit. Hani Nishiki's got a deep inside left. What can you do with it? He's trying to get that outside right. Ogi no Hana wriggling his hips back, maintaining that shallow outside right. Hani Nishiki, despite the major injury being to his right elbow, I think that is where he derives a lot of his powers, from his right hand, so he'll want to get it on the belt, and he has now, after a drive from Ogi no Hana sends him to the edge. And he's really deep inside with that left. Well, Ogi no Hana, he's a little high at this point. I think he'd be in a stronger position if he could maybe sink his head down lower or just pull his hips back more, but Hani Nishiki's really got a handle on his belt here. It looks like they're both Hidari Yotsu now. Ogi no Hana is where he's supposed to be, so the stalemate continues. Ogi no Hana has gotten the better of their encounters for the most part, but in this position, Hani Nishiki barrels in, but Ogi no Hana stays cool, does a little bit of pivoting, and now they're both locked up again in the middle. Hani Nishiki, his belt grip could not be any stronger than it is right now. And I think he feels the same, which is why I'll probably go for another Yori drive here as soon as he's able. He's inching forward here. Ogi no Hana taking a bit of a relaxed stance. Well, it's not relaxed, strictly speaking, but I think he does want to catch his breath here. He's a little high. Drops hips. Sticks his heels in. Doesn't get driven out. Both Dikishi tiring at this point, I think. Hani Nishiki continues to inch forward. Pressing his weight on him. Drives in, and it looked like a pretty successful uchari. Sort of a backwards pivot throw from Ogi no Hana, sending Hani Nishiki down first. So, quite the struggle there between the two, but Ogi no Hana proves the odds right. He improves his head-to-head with Hani Nishiki to 5-1. Good balance, good defense on the ring's edge. And Ogi no Hana, 6-4. Hani Nishiki, 4-6. Oikawa on 3-6 against Tamano Umi, struggling at 2-7. One more is Make Koshi for the oldest man in the top division here. Now he comes in a little more aggressively this time. Puts on the Sotogake, gets the outside right, but can't break Oikawa's balance, who is trying to wrench him up, but his belt line's a little high, and Tamano Umi, a little bit of scoop action, just tosses Oikawa to the side, who had lost his footing, and secures his third win. So Tamano Umi staves off Makekoshi one more day, moving to 3-7, even with Oikawa, who is now on the edge along with him. Shinpan are changing out. Off they go, shuffling between the dohyo and the audience. Not a lot of room here to maneuver. Off they go. All right, Fusanishiki 6-3 against Haneda 6-3. This is their first encounter. I would favor Fusanishiki, all things considered. He blasts in and finishes Haneda with two big shoves. That's sort of what I kind of figured would happen. Fusanishiki has a bit more experience and a style of sumo that is difficult to overcome for someone like Haneda. He's got a sharp tachi-ai, so Fusanishiki moves to 7-3. One away from Kachikoshi, and Haneda 6-4, continuing to struggle here in the second half. He won his first 5 bouts clean and has since had difficulty picking up more wins. Naruyama 4-5 against Taiho 2-7, first time meeting. Taiho comes out thrusting. He's getting a good push going. He's got Naruyama with his back to the edge, puts on a belt grip, keeps his footing, shifting his weight into Naruyama and flattening him. Yoritaoshi. So Taiho moves to 3-7, staves off Makekoshi, beating Naruyama in their first meeting. Naruyama falling to 4-6, so Taiho, he's staying alive. This is quite the difficult basho for him, but he's showing that he's not nervous, strictly speaking. I think that his sumo has been aggressive. It's just a very tough competition. Wakachichibu has already secured a Makekoshi, and so has Shionishiki. They're both 1-8. So not a lot on the line, you might think, but you don't want to fall too far down the Banzuke. Now, Shionishiki immediately moves to the right to blunt Wakachichibu's charge, and now he's got an inside left, Wakachichibu an outside right. And Wakachichibu just could not keep his feet from scrambling out. He's beaten by the much lighter, older Shionishiki. So Shionishiki moves to 2-8. Wakachichibu at Maegashira 9 moves to 1-9, and so if he doesn't pick up the pace here, he risks the run of coming very near to demotion altogether from Makunochi. In any event, Shionishiki played it pretty simple, got out of the way of the bigger man, and then moved inside. So, decent sumo. Iwakaze 3-6 against Kita no Onada 5-4. Kita no Onada has the edge in their head-to-head 5-3. We should expect a speedy tachi-ai. Whoa! Iwakaze jumps the gun, but Kita no Onada isn't phased too much. We'll try this again. Iwakaze, I think, certainly wants to match the speed of White Lightning here. And this time, Kita no Onada jumps the gun. Well, a little nervy here. Now, Iwakaze is prone to adopting a very low tachi-ai, sort of taking a catcher's position. So we'll see if he does the same here. He does, catching Kita no Onada, but Kita no Onada wrenching up the arm. Iwakaze generating a very good drive. Now they're jockeying for position here. Kita no Onada is not in a good one. He's a little high up. Iwakaze sticking to that belt, but gets broken off now. Oh, stoppage. Sort of an awkward stance, but Kita no Onada's belt has come pretty well undone in the back, so the Gyoji's going to have to retie it here. Okay. Quick and dirty. And back to action. So Kitanonada is up high. Iwakaze is down low where he likes to be. Tries for some kind of totari. And no good. But finishes Kitanonada with a big shove to the chest on the edge. So that was a frenzied, messy little bout. And Iwakaze beats the odds. Brings his head-to-head with Kitanonada a little more even. 4-5 in Kitanonada's favor. And moves to 4-6 in this boss show. So Iwakaze, don't count him out just yet. And Kitanonada, 5-5 even. Things could go either way, but he's been looking pretty solid, all things considered. Both Dikishi and the high Maegashira spot at the top of the Joi. Not an easy position to hold. Fujinishiki Shin Komosubi on 5-4 against Tsurugamine on 4-5, and he's won the only 2 encounters they've had, so odds favor him in this matchup. He'll be looking for a Morozashi, I think. Tries to get his arms inside. Fujinishiki's got some thrusting going. Here we go, into his rhythm. But Tsurugamine closes the distance still. Gets that inside left. I think he's definitely in a stronger position than Fujinishiki at this point, and moves in for the Yorikiri. Good straight-on sumo from Tsurugamine. Did well to stick to Fujinishiki despite the Takasago man getting into his thrusting game at one point there. Looked like he could turn the tide, but couldn't beat the odds. Tsurugamine improves to 3-0 on Fujinishiki. He's really got his number. And they were both 5-5 coming out of today. So dead even after 2/3 of the boss show have gone by. Things could go either way. Hikari on 3-6 against Wakanoumi, 2-7. Wakanoumi struggling here in his second consecutive Komosubi outing. But he does have the edge on Ohikari. And they're head-to-head. Comes in low. Moves for that inside left. Ohikari's got that outside right, and they're jostling with their other hands. Wrestling for position. Wakanomi's deep. If he can just break Ohikari's balance, I think a drive will do it. Moves in, but Ohikari's at a good angle. He shuffles to the side, keeps up lateral movement. Inching to the side. His back's to the edge. Wakanoumi, if he could just break down a little under, he could finish off Ohikari. Ohikari just keeps moving side to side. Now, if he wants to improve his position, how to go about it? Wakanomi's got a good Otsuke. He's guarding his right very well. Ohikari can't, I don't think can really move him forward very much from this position, but is at the same time denying Wakanoumi the final push out. And now it's a stalemate. They're both catching their breath, waiting for one to offer some kind of vulnerability. Ohikari resumes his sideways movement. Not moving Wakanoumi forward much at all, and he's not really bringing himself that much further from the edge, but he does keep moving side to side in an effort to, I think, break Wakanomi's stance. Wakanoumi, a brief attempt at a drive, doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, the stalemate draws on. Ohikari tries to bust his belly in. No good. Retreats back sideways. Wakanoumi stays dug inside. All the while keeping Ohikari at not a very good angle. Now the Yoji's going to tighten up Wakanomi's belt. And he's done that. And should be getting them back to action here. He's just making sure their hand placement's correct and that the belt's not too loose. And we are back. So Ohikari moves to the side. Wakanoumi stays dug in. Hikari is working himself out to an angle to make his outside right work. Wakanomi, I think, knows where he is aware of Hikari's plan here to flank him, so is not fooled, is not broken from his stance. So, Hikari. What can he do? He moves in, doesn't really move Wakanomi very far back, seems to be in the exact same position he was in a moment ago. Wakanomi drives, and Hikari pulls back, twists away, and drags Wakanomi down Dashinage. Uwate Dashinage looked like to me. So Wakanomi Makekoshi goes to 2-8. Hikari improves to 4-6. So despite not being able to pick up a win until maybe day 6 or so, Hikari is not doing too badly at this stage. Kashiwado, Shinseki Wake against Deiwan Ishiki. Deiwan Ishiki 4-5, Kashiwado 5-4. Kashiwado's got the edge in their head-to-head 3-1. He'll be coming out sharp, and he does come out very sharp. He shoves out Deiwan Ishiki in one big blast. It was all in the Tachi-ai there. Kashiwado shows what Kashiwado Sumo is all about. So he improves to 6-4. Looking more certain to keep his rank. His new rank. Deiwan Ishiki 4-6, inching closer to Makekoshi. Well, if Kashiwado can just do that for the rest of the bouts in this basho, he should be in pretty good shape, making an Ozeki run. Speaking of Ozeki runs, Tochi Hikari wants to get one of his own going here against Kotogahama, a current Ozeki. They're both 6-3, and Kotogahama's got quite the edge, 11-4 in their head-to-head. Tochi Hikari comes in low, tries to get some pushing going, but Kotogahama slips him. Now he's got an outside right, inside left. I think this is definitely the stronger position for Kotogahama. He's the better belt fighter. Pulls his hips back. Tochi Hikari in a difficult position. Uchigake attempt from Kotogahama. No good. A bit of a stalemate here, but I suspect Kotogahama, with his head dug into the shoulder of Tochi Hikari, is going to be set to try another leg trip or a drive forward here shortly. Tochi Hikari's hanging on, but I don't think he's got... Well, clearly the Kotogahama's belt could not be further away. He's turned into something of a tabletop there. But he's got the height. He's got the reach. Tochi Hikari barrels in, but not too much movement. Kotogahama moves in. Tsuri. Yes, so he arches his back, gets Tochi Hikari off his feet, breaks his balance, and swings him out. So Kotogahama moves to 7-3, one step from Kachikoshi, Tochi Hikari. 6-4, he's truly well and out of the Yusho race, though I think at this point, anything more than 2 losses is really not contention. In any event, Kotogahama looked good. Had a game plan going in. His style of sumo prevailed. And Fusensho Asashio has pulled out. Not an especially surprising result, all things considered. He was not doing very well this basho, and a Yokozuna turning into Makekoshi is really not very good. So Asashio, unfortunately, didn't bring it out this basho, but does the right thing and believes, saves some face, and maybe next time out he'll put up some better numbers. Wakahaguro, with that walkover, gets a 6th victory. Moves within a couple wins of Kachikoshi. Kitabayama 7-2 against Wakanohana 9-0, and with a 5-0 lead in their head-to-head. Is Kitabayama going to be a Yusho contender? comes in low but doesn't move Wakanohana back, who keeps his belt away and moves forward. Well, it looks like a Morozashi now and a Tsuri to go with. Kitabayama stays alive, tries to put on that outside leg trip. He's moving in very low. He's good at being low, Kitabayama. Now he's got that outside right, outside left, but Wakanohana's got a Morozashi, and so I think it's really just a matter of time here before he finishes off Kitabayama. Moves in, breaking down a smaller man. Really plants that double inside. He's wrenching and finishing Kitabayama. So Wakanohana really dominated that bout with the Sekiwake. Moves to 10-0, perfect. Kitabayama drops out of the Yusho race, in my estimation, by picking up his third loss. So it looks like this battle for the cup has come down to the two remaining Yokozuna at this point, and so this next bout will determine, I think, the tone for the remaining third of the spa show. Oh, Wakanohana looked pretty good there. Alright, Anenyama, 4-5. Tochinishiki, 9-0. 15-7. Head-to-head in Tochinishiki's favor. Tochinishiki looking indomitable this spa show. Anenyama comes in low, tries to get inside, but Tochinishiki puts up a good Otsuke, a little bit of thrusting and parry. Not letting Anenyama inside. He's got that Maimitsu now. Pulls in and then reverses. A little danger on the edge, but they move back to the center. Tochinishiki gets that Maimitsu again. Shoves upward and finishes Anenyama. So, Tochinishiki, ever the daredevil, seems to always find himself in a moment of risk and then responds as if there was nothing to worry about. And with him, what is there to worry about? Well, that was a fine day's sumo, a lot of loose pelts and the like. But the race is between the two Yokozuna. Thank you for joining me.